Hey there, Mess Buddies, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Ray, and I bought a webcam because these type of videos that I'm going to do right now, I want to get them done faster, so like trailer reactions, things like that. And I just feel like this is much easier than me setting up my light and my camera, making sure the camera's charged, transferring everything. That takes a little bit of time. The only side or downfall to this angle is that I got this light here. I got the camera here with those two lights. So I'm going to try to look there, but it kind of hurts my eyes a little bit. But on to the topic of the video. We're going to finally go over my... Oh, I slammed the table. Don't do that. We're going to finally go over my top 10 favorite movies from 2019. Of course, I wanted to have this out in January, but I procrastinated to this point, and I figured halfway through the year, why not talk about my favorite movies from last year? Now, some rules as far as this goes is I'm only going to be talking about movies that I actually saw in 2019 that are from 2019. So, 1917, saw that in like January or February, so I'm technically not counting it, although it would absolutely be on my list. I don't know if there were any other movies that I saw in 2019 that I saw this year, but I've got a list that I have right here. No peeks. So, let's begin with my honorable mentions. Shazam. I really liked it. I thought it was a great movie. A lot of fun. A lot of heart to it. Just there may have been another solo superhero film that I liked a little better. We also have Ready or Not. I really liked Ready or Not. I thought it was a really simple, self-contained story. A lot of fun. Some dark humor. I really enjoyed it. And my last honorable mention, Brightburn. I love Brightburn. Evil Superman starting out. How can you go wrong? It was really good. But there's just 10 other movies that I liked a little bit to, a fair amount, a bit more. I'm gonna sip some tea now, if that's okay. Again, with this top 10 list, let me reiterate, these are my opinions. You could have completely different views on the movies I'm going to pick. That's acceptable. I'm not going to fault you for it. But let me know down in the comments down here what you thought were some of your favorite movies of last year. Also, these aren't necessarily in a particular order. Depending on my mood, depending on how I'm feeling that day, I might swap the list up. But these are just my 10 favorite movies. Not particularly ranked, but sort of technically ranked. Number 10, we have Avengers Endgame. It was a phenomenal conclusion to that story, even though it's technically still going. We have all these cool characters coming back, some real fan servicey moments. And the only reason I didn't really put it higher was just because the whole Cap coming back at the end thing, it doesn't make sense, and I would love for someone to try to explain to me how it does. But aside from that, I really liked the movie. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It's one of the few movies I was okay with people cheering in the theater for, which goes to show how much I enjoyed it, I guess. Number 9 is the appropriately titled Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. I just really like this movie. I like the sequel trilogy. I think it's pretty good. Yes, Last Jedi had some problems, even though it's an absolutely gorgeous film, in my opinion. And this movie did its best to conclude the story from 7 and 8, and I guess technically the whole rest of the Skywalker saga. And I thought it did a pretty good job. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry if you didn't like it, but again, my opinions. I like the movie. I have fun watching it. Number 8. I spoke about Shazam earlier. This is the movie that I think is better than that and kind of fills the quota for solo superhero movie this year, and that's Spider-Man Far From Home. I adore this movie. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. I thought it was a cool twist with how they handled him, even though it's basically what he does in the comics. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Tom Holland's great as Spider-Man. Yet again, it does a great job of showing the fallout from Endgame, which is really cool. Not just from, Spider-Man's perspective, where he's missing his father figure, but also, like, the overall world and some of the jokes in there, like Flash trying to drink, but then Mary Jane's like, yo, he got blipped, or whatever they called it in the movie. I thought that was really great. It's a great conclusion to, well, I guess it was phase... Is it phase 3 or phase 4? I think it's phase 4, right? No. Phase 3? I don't know. That whole structure is a little confusing for me. Number 7 is John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. I don't like it as much as the second one. Definitely not as much as the first one. But it is still a great action movie. It is a great continuation of the franchise. It explores more of the mythology in the world of John Wick with all these assassins and their hierarchy and different factions of assassins. It's really cool. I'm looking forward to the fourth one. I'm really bummed it's now not going to come out the same day as Matrix 4 because that was going to be a fantastic Keanu Reeves weekend of movies. Number 6 is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. I love How to Train Your Dragon as a trilogy. The first one is absolutely one of, if not my favorite animated films, and I think that this trilogy as a whole, it's honestly better than a lot of stuff that Pixar has. I'm sorry. It's a boy and his dog story. How can I not choose that over talking toys, talking fish, future trash compacting robots, which I actually haven't seen WALL-E. I should probably see WALL-E. But I digress. The How to Train Your Dragon franchise is phenomenal. It's so well done. And this is such a great send-off to that trilogy. I don't believe they're trying to do anymore. Such a good animated movie. You should absolutely check it out if you haven't. Number 5, we have Joker. And I saw it in theaters. It was such a great comic book film. Joaquin Phoenix crushes the performance. It's such a good story. It's a cool origin story, or one of the origin stories for the Joker. And I just don't like that now people can't say that they're a fan of the Joker without it kind of being a joke in and of itself because of how people have kind of ran with it. But I love the Joker as a movie. It was really good. Just watched it the other day. Just as good as I remember. Number 4, we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan, but I love this movie. And the fact that we have sort of like, I guess it's like a week in the life of Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and their whole journey. And then in the background, you have Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. And then we see some of the characters interact with the Manson group. And you know in the back of your head what's coming, but you kind of forget about it because you're just enjoying seeing these people engage in their daily lives. And then when it does come, but then it happens a little differently, it's so satisfying. It's so good. Like that last action scene was incredible. And then it's kind of like a really sweet ending, which I wasn't expecting going into it. And it was great. If you haven't seen it, absolutely check it out. You should have seen it by now. Hit the table again. Number 3 is a super heartwarming film, and that's Peanut Butter Falcon. The ending is a little off for me. I would have liked the ending to be a little different. But my God, it's just such a kind of wholesome movie with Shia LaBeouf running from his past and some of the mistakes he's made, meeting up with Zach, who's just trying to live his life and follow his dreams, and how they go to wrestling school, and how they just kind of grow with each other in this kind of like, almost like a Huckleberry Finn journey where they're just like floating down a river trying to get to somewhere new. I love the movie. It's super good. Number 2 is Ad Astra, another Brad Pitt special. And my God, this movie floored me when I saw it in theaters. It was gorgeous. The music was incredible. I felt like I'd actually gone on a journey with Brad Pitt to try and find his father in the deep reaches of space. And something about this movie just like hit me like hard. So good. I'm so glad I have it on like 4K over on the shelf over there as I look at the monitor trying to keep my fingers straight. It's not what you would expect because the trailer shows some action sequences. There's really not much action. It's a slow burn in a lot of points. But if you can appreciate that, I mean, this movie's fantastic. And I definitely recommend it to anyone that hasn't seen it yet. And my number 1 movie of last year has to go to Jojo Rabbit. This is actually my number 1. Like, I could interchange a lot of the movies on the top 10 list. And even some of the honorable mentions. I could float them all around. But Jojo Rabbit is absolutely my number 1. Such an incredibly funny movie for such a dark period in time. The interactions between Jojo and Taika Waititi's Adolf Hitler were hysterical at times. I love how eventually he does stand up to him. I really like how Jojo has to come to terms with the fact that he's been kind of indoctrinated into this ideology, even though he's not 100% there, like he can't fully commit, like he can't kill the rabbit. But then he encounters this girl that his mother's been hiding, this Jewish girl. And he has to come to terms with the fact that he's sort of been lied to his entire life. And they focus a lot on feet, and when that comes into play, oh boy, it hits you. I really don't know what else to say about Jojo Rabbit other than, yes, it is my #1 favorite movie of last year. So those are my 10, I guess technically 13 favorite movies of last year. Jojo Rabbit, absolutely the dead ringer for #1. But all those other ones, they could kind of float around, switch places. I'm up for some list fluidity, I guess, is the phrase I'm going to use. Kind of a gross phrase. I don't know why I said it. But, yeah, all really good movies in my opinion. Again, let me know down in the comments what you thought. What are some of your favorite movies from last year? Give me some recommendations for some that I missed. I haven't seen Parasite yet. Otherwise, that would also probably be on the list. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Definitely go down, subscribe to stay up to date with all the videos that I do put out. You know, when I put them out. Definitely give this video a like, share them with a loving friend. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.